following material contains strong language and adult content. Please be advised.
This is the Comfortably Poor Podcast, an uncensored, wide open, anything and everything goes podcast. You won't find anything like it. And why is that? Because the Comfortably Poor Podcast keeps it 100. Let's go.
I'm alive. I made it through Corona. That damn bitch. Hey, wash your hands even though it affects your lungs.
Well, that's how you spread the virus, jackass. Jesus, how do you survive?
It's all hoax. It's all a hoax.
I stay.
It's all a hoax.
You know how I survived, nigga.
Comfortably Poor Podcast. We're back live in effect. Join us on the phone line.
He's shooting the virus.
844-997.
Out the motherfucking air, nigga. You said coronavirus. I went and bought bullets.
Phone lines are open for you guys. 844-997-0775. We want to hear from you guys. Hit us up. Let's try to take people's minds off the coronavirus, off bullshit. Let's have some laughs.
I thought you were going to say let's try to take people's money.
Relationship advice.
Yeah, rob these niggas. Patreon, GoFundMe,
PayPal. Poor Podcast on PayPal.
Poor.
Hit us up.
Yo, YOLO.
Shoot, let's go.
Hit them up.
Yeah. Hashtag Comfortably Poor on Twitter. Chat with us there. Ask your questions. Use that hashtag. We are watching that, and we're watching the YouTube chat, so you can get your questions in there as well. How you guys
feeling
with your quarantine, fellas?
Yo, listen
I'm
to me.
getting low on lotion.
Damn. What?
No Vaseline?
Whoa. That just came out of nowhere.
No Vaseline? No peanut butter?
But man said I'm running out of lotion.
Get the dog.
No nearby Walgreens?
No peg
Just
leg
tip them a little extra to find you the extra soothing, baby lotion.
But you got a Mexican bitch, though. Don't she got them soft hands that's kind of make their own lotion and shit? You touch them and shit, they all
She doesn't even have to fucking wear lotion.
Nope,
she has natural lotion.
She makes her own from her palms and shit. The bitch is sweat fucking Kramer.
Cooking them beans.
Hell yeah, bro. Sucking them farts up. No, let me. No. Stop.
Yo, wait.
I'm done. Nope, not going back. Nope. Listen, we gotta get this Corona shit out the way.
She's white, so she's half classy.
Man, listen.
You know what, though? I just saw an article. Hold on. They're banning.
Her grandfather was.
I forgot where it is. They're banning sexual activity with more than 3 people.
What? They're turning the whole country into Texas. Jesus.
And I'm thinking to myself,
that has to be announced.
Shit.
That was something that had to be announced.
That has to be a thing.
Yeah, I was like, that's a freaky ass city, bro.
But no more foursomes.
No more foursomes, baby.
Yeah, no more foursomes.
So if you and
no
your
more
boy wanted to
orgies.
hook up
You can
with
have
the twins,
threesomes.
you're right. If you and your boys wanted to hook up with the twin, you and your guy wanted to go to the hotel and shit, y'all can't do that anymore. Nope. Not there.
Yeah, but you can't do
You
the sorority.
You could do the sorority.
You can't do the sorority.
Okay.
Because you got to take them one at a time. Same thing, same principle there.
Just like Adam said, I want to definitely give you guys some laughs because obviously the coronavirus is more of a serious thing. But I did make a mistake, and I like to get my mistakes out there. Just like I like to get the things that I'm correct about out there. The mistake that I made is it doesn't seem at this point, at least that I can show. Do you remember, Adam, when we were talking about the coronavirus coming from a lab in China somehow?
Yeah.
There's some things that have come to light, and I'm going to be sharing a video. But there's some things that come to light that seems as if it did not. That's not where COVID-19 seems to have come from. Whether or not,
well, that was just a theory, wasn't it?
That was one of
the speculations.
It was a theory. It was a theory, and a few people had
lab.
Well, and a few people had actually asserted it forth as true, and I think I had asserted it forth as true. And I want to make sure that I'm saying that right now, here and now, that I was not right to say that. We don't know where it's coming from right now, and we're still trying to find out as best we can. But yeah, the pangolins and the bats are a good thing. And of course, when you mix animals that have genetic similarity to mammals in unclean areas, you get these sorts of things. So I just wanted to get that out there for the audience. On to our jokes.
I gotta say, I thought I loved that question that you put up or that you retweeted up earlier on Twitter. We don't do too much of the stuff on here, and that's by design. But I think that's an interesting thing to talk about. People who feel sorry for us.
People who feel sorry.
They say, "I'm sorry." To to us being blind or to us having a
that sighted shit.
Yeah, and
like when they don't know you're blind too. They don't know you're blind, and all of a sudden you turn around.
No, when they just discover. Yep. Yeah, when they just discover.
Like, no, I'm blind. Can you show me where the keyhole? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
You're like 4'11". Your titties are bigger than my. I'm sorry, but she's like, what are you sorry for? You're gonna fall on your face. You look like two loaves of bread fucked each other. What do you mean that you're sorry for me? You're sorry for me, are you? How about your children? They have to look at you every day.
So that was that one. And then, what really fucking got me? All right.
I'm so sorry.
Deep breath, Adam. Woosah, woosah.
Breathe, brother. Breathe, brother.
There was an article posted on Facebook, and I reposted it, but not in a positive light. So somebody had posted an article, and I have a feeling that maybe you guys might be a little bit on the article side. We'll see. So it was about what's going on, coronavirus, the pandemic, and all this other bullshit, and how blind people are suffering.
I saw this article going around.
Are having a harder time with this than people really know, because it's hard enough for us when this isn't going on, and now we can't get Lyft or Uber or public transportation, our food delivery, all this other bullshit, and that everything else that the world caters to us has come to a halt. And now blind people are stuck trying to figure out how to survive during this pandemic. And it just threw me through a loop. I was so pissed off about it. First off, the article was written by somebody who's a part of the NFB, and I fucking hate the NFB. I hate everything that it stands for.
Well, that starts right there.
Everything that all these NFB, AFB, ABF, whatever, all these fucking federation foundations, fuck you. You don't understand a goddamn thing about how to help the blind people and what to do for the blind people. That's bullshit. All you want to do is make blind people look helpless, and that the world needs to cater to them.
And then take their money.
As
if you're doing a good fucking thing for them.
Yes. And I hate it. And so this article was written by somebody from the NFB to start. And it just is this pity party article that blind people are pathetic. And
dude, they're the reason why the fucking whole Breakfast Club audio back in September blew up.
Yeah, we talked about that.
They were the reason why. We talked about that already, but they talked about that, and they made it such a big fucking deal. And I'm like, you guys there's some insecurity there, or there's a lot of low self-esteem. You need this validation to be told that you're good parents because somebody told somebody that they wouldn't want them to take care of their blind child. It's like, how insecure can you be? Dude, I'm starting this shit over again. I'm getting a new Facebook page. I'm getting a new Twitter. I don't want none of these blind niggas. If blind people are like this and they represent me this way,
it makes us look bad to the rest of the world. And that's what I said. I said that exact thing. I was like, it's because these 80% of blind people that stay in their fucking house and talk on these chat things and play these stupid online games all fucking day long. And no offense to some people that do it just for shits and giggles every now and then, but there's definitely a group of individuals that 24/7, that's what they do. They wake up,
there's no ambition. They don't want to do anything else.
No.
They're not achieving
Zero.
to do anything
And
else.
then-
That's the difference.
And there's more of them than there is of us. And we've talked about
Of
this.
people
We're
like
not
us trying to
normal
make it,
blind
yeah.
people because we're fucking
Not
normal.
even trying to make it, but are making it. Like,
But it
Yeah,
just
no,
makes
no. I
us
mean,
look
but
like
I
we're
don't
not
mean
even
I don't mean
capable
trying to
of-
make
no,
it in a
you're right.
negative way. I mean,
it makes us
in
look bad.
every-
It makes us look bad. Listen, it makes us
Yeah,
look bad
no, in every
the
field
same
we
way
wanna
that
do,
if-
we wanna
when
partake
you
in.
start seeing that people, like a person, like you could see people who steal, right? Mexicans have a bad reputation. People who steal. That gives a bad view of Mexicans. Black people, violence. Black people are seen as violent. It makes when a person from a group, an obvious group, does something, it does tend to make it cast that group in a bad shadow. But I will say this: I don't think that groups like the ACB, the NFB, and all of the other acronyms, I don't think they're wrong on some things and they're right on some things. I'm not against them. Like a lot, there are people who are like,
But you're not for them like
but
that.
I'm not
like,
for
you're
them
not, like,
because I used to be a member of the NFB, right? I used to be a member of the NFB, and I used to
Same here.
work at the NFB, and I have no problem
actually
working at the NFB
know
again.
people,
I have
and
no
I'm
problem
very
working at the ACB again.
well
But my whole
connected.
thing is this, though. Hang on, my whole thing is this.
Yeah.
When you're trying to speak for a group of people, it's just kind of like the president, right? Whenever you're trying to speak for a large demographic of people, you have to try to your best. You're not going to please everyone, but you have to do your best to speak for all of them. And all of the people and even the people in NFB, there are people in the NFB right now who would agree with what I'm saying. A lot of the extreme stuff that they do is just fucking out there. Like, that's not how the independent blind people who are actually walking around, that's not how they think. It's how some of them think, but definitely not the majority of the people. And as far as the people who are like diehards, they're no better than extremists. I don't believe in extremism on either side. They do good things, they do bad things. And I just point out what I agree with and what I don't agree with. But I don't agree with the pity party, for sure.
Well, and like the other
Yeah.
side of the NFB and all this other shit too is like, I get what their mission is. I do. And I'm not against that, is making things more accessible and making, making it a little easier for blind people to fit in where they can as far as employment goes and education and all that kind of stuff. And I respect that part. My problem with like the NFB and these things is how they go about it. They go about it in like trying to strong arm companies and trying to strong arm the government, and it just makes us look bad. It makes it look like we can't do anything without the NFB. We can't do anything.
So
without
here's the
without
hat.
other
Here's the
monies.
hat
And
they
it's like,
put on. I'm gonna put on my NFB hat
Yeah, go for
for
it.
a second. Their argument constantly is, well, we try to have people talk to them. We try to have our people recruit, some of their employees to come to our workshops and see how accessibility can be implemented into their programs and
From the corporation.
all this stuff, right? yeah, from the corporations
Okay.
or any governmental, office or whatever. And what they say is a lot of the time is they don't comply. So most of the time what we're seeing is the backlash of them not complying. That's what a lot of people from the NFB would say. But what I say as a person
in
who
regards
sees
to accessibility,
complying, pretty much saying fuck you. I don't really want to talk to you guys.
Okay.
Like, go fuck yourself and your accessibility. We don't really want to fuck with you guys. Like, well, what the fuck? We don't have time for this shit.
Fuck your
You know
brain.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's more people that can fucking see that can. Fuck it. Like, it's just what it is. Right? That's probably the mentality of the CEO or whoever is pretty much saying fuck it.
Probably, pretty much.
Right?
I don't disagree with him as far as his thinking. I think his conclusion is just wrong. Let me rephrase. I don't disagree with him as far as his conclusion. I think his thinking about it's just wrong.
The way he's getting to that conclusion is wrong. I get what you're saying. Yes. So, but I say as a person who sees like designated groups fighting for something, just looks like a lot of noise into an empty void. It really does. It's like, every time, just think politically, right? Like Black Lives Matter. fucking, you name any group that goes out and protests, and you could just easily point them out. So when we're blind people and we're screaming at corporate companies, and in the news they're telling us, I still don't want to work with you guys, like Domino's. Domino's did, and they were like, yeah, we don't want to do anything about accessibility on our website. Fuck that shit. They were blatantly telling us.
Domino's is accessible.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, bro. But like
that's my problem with the MLB. That's exactly what I'm talking about. See, that would be a problem.
And that's my problem.
I don't like people who are bitching just to bitch. People who don't want to put forth the effort. Like they don't want to put forth the effort. Like,
that's
bro,
it right
it's like,
there.
This is
effort.
It's not accessible. You haven't even picked it up.
That's my problem. And I guess that's where it gets me is because like, look, I don't. This is.
You know what's shocking? I found out who fucking did that report. Who actually tried to sue them.
Who are they?
I used to talk to them.
It was like a Mexican dude or something.
It was a fucking Mexican dude named Guillermo. He was from New Jersey.
Yeah, there you go, Guillermo. Yeah.
Guillermo
was like, yo, y'all niggas ain't selling pizzas. I can't read this screen.
My nigga, that fat ass nigga, yo, I'm so sick of blind people, bro. I'm so sick of
you said about effort, though,
Domino.
Brando. Like, everything that I've ever had, I've busted my ass for that shit. Like, and same for you, Dan and Brando. Like, yeah. You weren't given radio gigs. You knew what you had to do to hustle and grind. I
had to be annoying, dog.
Calling every day and emailing,
and you
being
give
persistent
up.
And yes, and Brando, you had to overcome like probably people telling you early on, like, well, blind people can't do martial arts.
I can't.
How are you going to be?
That is it.
That's
my thing, dude.
So
blind people can't shoot guns.
Don't try.
Blind people can't stab people.
They can't shoot guns.
Blind people can't do anything.
They can't run.
They
can't come out the closet. You can't do anything, bro. You're blind. You can't do shit. Stay at home. Play with your iPad. That's essentially where we are.
And like when I was in Arkansas, working in Arkansas, the number of clients that I had that came through my office and were like, it's like, well, what's your goals? What do you want to get out of here? What are we gonna do for you? Like, what's this? And like, oh no, I don't know how to do anything. All right, well, that's what you're here for. You're gonna learn some shit, and we're gonna get you going. So, what are you interested in? I don't know. My mom's never told me. What do you mean your mom hasn't told you what your interests are? What are you interested in? Like, it's not your mom making choices for you. Like, the number of times I heard that is like, oh, I don't know. My mom and dad have always told me I should.
Well, I think I see the biggest,
what do you
biggest disappointments
do?
too, just on Facebook too. I agree with that because I see that like Facebook posts where people get so discouraged after like attending so many job interviews and just like not getting callbacks or getting denied. But I'm like, that's the way of fucking
that happens
world.
To sighted people too, though.
That happens to sighted people.
It happens to everyone.
Yes.
But let me
but
say
they get
something.
discouraged. It's like, oh, I'm this blind person. How do I know I'm going to the next interview and I'm just going to be denied and wasting money on Uber and blah, blah. That's life. That's fucking life.
That's just the way it is. That's the way it is, bro. And a lot of people don't know how to deal with life. Sighted or not, they don't know how to deal with it. Like, again, two things. First off, to your point, Adam, you are exactly right. And let me tell you something funny about what you said. People told me, ever since I started doing the whole martial art thing seriously, not just a hobby, but taking it on seriously, yes, people told me I couldn't do it. And the thing is, if they hadn't told me I could do it, I really wonder if I would be doing it now. Because a large part of the reason why I'm so dogged on a lot of things is because people tell me that I can't do something. When someone tells me I can't, that's when I'm all of a sudden interested. Otherwise, it's kind of like, yeah, it's there. It's cool. I like this. I really like this.
100%.
But it's not an obsessive. But when someone says I can't do something, that becomes my mission in life. That becomes my mission in life. It's just.
I'm the same way within reason. Obviously, like if there's certain shit that, because there's definitely blind people that are persistent enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna drive a car. I'm gonna drive a bus. Like I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna be a part of this test group that's gonna try all these self-driving cars and blah blah. I'm like. I'm not, and maybe it's because I've driven before, but it's like, nah. That's the one thing that's like, no, I'm not going to drive right now. Maybe in the future, 30, 40 years down the road when everybody has a self-driving car and we're all equal. But there's just certain things that I'm just like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going to do that.
Nope.
But basic shit,
Nope.
I 100% agree.
Once blind people are in cars, I'm quarantining myself. I'm staying in the house like COVID-19.
He said,
I'm revisiting 2020 forever.
Social distancing.
I'm
is
social
back.
distancing
Yeah.
for the rest of my fucking life. Do you understand me? I'll be the blind guy ordering Uber Eats and fucking playing games all day just to stay away from you niggas in cars.
No, I can't wait for blind people to have cars. It's going to be one of the most exciting things ever. It's going to be great. I'm going to have a car everywhere. I'm going to go broke buying cars. I'm going to be like 50 Cent.
This thing is going to be like
all my
MTV
advancements were
Cribs.
spent on cars. Yeah, nigga.
Blind MTV Cribs is going to be the new show. Blind Cribs.
He's going to have a studio apartment with like nothing in it. But he's going to have 74 fucking cars parked out front. Like,
Hell yeah. Outside, bro, is
he's
where
going to
my
have some
condos
old
are.
ass
Cribs, the
milk,
blinded
like,
edition.
butter with some breadcrumbs in it still, but he's gonna have dope ass
Bro,
rides.
it's
He's
gonna be
gonna
dope.
have box of top ramen
gonna
on the
be
floor.
Probably more like probably some vegetable ramen's plastic and shit bad for you. But yeah,
vegetables
man.
are too expensive. All your money's on your whips.
Yeah, bro. Listen, lettuce is cheap. I love lettuce. Fuck that ramen. Speaking of ramen, bro. Oh,
You
my
are
God.
insane. The only thing that
I
sounds
saw a
like that
meme
he likes is
yesterday.
romaine. It's
It was
romaine.
hilarious, and it was
Yeah, I
like
like that too.
if you put more than 3 items on top of your ramen, you're a former felon. I was like, that's can't be any truer right there. Like, everybody likes a good spread every now and then.
Oh, wow.
Did we ever talk to Bank Robbins about that? Did he?
I don't know if he cooked. I don't remember him saying he was a cook. He was a little jail chef, but I do know niggas. I always love hearing the jail chef stories. I do.
Yeah.
Fucking there's
You
so
want to hear some
many
jail
of them.
chef story? I get my crackhead uncle on here, and he'll tell you some jail chef stories.
Oh my God,
That'll
we would
make an
love to
episode
talk
for
to
your
him.
ass. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Doesn't everybody have like a crackhead uncle? I feel like
Everyone's got
everybody
one.
has a
Yeah,
crackhead
we've all got that family.
Everyone.
They just, you know.
Everybody's got
Yeah.
that motherfucker that just
It's like
going
you're sitting
nuts.
next to the radiologist, you're sitting next to the heart surgeon technician, you're sitting next to the lawyer, sitting next to the crack.
And
Whoa,
it's
hold on,
always
where the
like
fuck did you come from, nigga?
a Jimmy or a Kenny
Or
a
Gary.
Tommy. Like it's always like a
Or
ends
Gary
in a
or
Y name.
Charlie.
Well, you got the smart
Yeah.
one. You also got the smart cousin who really is just so unstable. He's really fucking smart.
Yeah, his IQ is
but
like
he's
145,
he's
but he just
all
does so much
over-
heroin.
He's everywhere. He doesn't know what he wants to do.
Fucking dope.
He fucking lives in 50 different states just to figure out.
That guy's a tent.
Everybody
He a
has
tent.
one of those.
He's got a tent.
Yeah, he's
That's
got
what
a
he's got.
got a tent ready to just in case he got to sleep in the woods somewhere. Just back out, chill out.
That shit's fucking
Sleeping bag with his name on it, nigga.
That guy, that cousin in my family has the best pot. His weed is like nobody else's. I don't know what he's doing to get that weed, but his weed's like on the rare times
Nah,
that
see,
he
I
shows
feel
up
like
at a
crackheads
dinner.
smoke shit weed. They're smoking.
No, but
like
he's not.
fucking
No. He's talking about the smart cousin. who's
He's
a
not the
neighbor.
crackhead. I'm talking about the
the
smart
smart
cousin
cousin.
who's really
he's talking
unstable.
about the smart cousin who's just like kind of loose out there and shit. This dude has the best pot.
The weight
And not only does he have the
fluctuates.
best pot. This dude fucking shows
It's
up. at
because he
dinner.
scientifically grew it. Like he threw some like
Yeah, dude, he's got a
algorithm
fucking
at it.
dro
Threw
table
shit
in the
his
Wisconsin
closet.
woods,
He's
bro.
like, yo, look, I made this weed that's fucking teal. Look at it. Like, what?
It's got purple
How'd you
leaves.
do that?
It's got
Crossed it
rouge
with
stems.
The
Oh,
the
shit.
branches glow in the dark.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, don't watch it.
We're gonna call this
Save
shit
your
Radio
branches.
Haze, nigga. Radio Haze. Smoke this shit, nigga. It's done. Fucking chest is gonna light up.
Yeah, and all the conspiracy theorists are gonna wear tinfoil hats around when they smoke it
Radiation.
because of some of the
These
letters in there.
conspiracies are getting
Wasn't that
crazy right
episode?
now.
Wasn't that episode last week? Didn't we cover that last week? Was it a 5G?
We talked about
radiation?
5G last week.
Yeah.
Was that on the live or was that the podcast?
I think that was on Wednesdays live. We talked about that a little
Man,
bit, about the lunatics being scared of
talk a lot.
5G and the heavy metals in your body and
yeah,
whatever
in the
else.
trees.
in the trees in Australia. Yeah. 844-997-0775. If you got questions, you need some relationship advice, got a funny story, whatever it might be, hit us up. Phone lines are open. Hashtag
Can't figure out why your
comfortably
pussy
poor on
keeps
Twitter.
belching.
Talk with us.
We'll help you
Chat
out.
with us. Yeah.
I'm gonna need to examine though physically, so you better be ready.
I'm gonna need to talk to your nigga.
I was listening
Fuck
to a
him.
podcast the other day.
The gynecologist don't talk to the boyfriend.
I'm the gynecologist.
Who doesn't?
I'm talking to him to find out
That's what I'm
angle he's
saying.
hitting to make that shit continue to fucking keep fucking popping. Because if I can do what he's doing, nigga, listen, we can be the best of friends. I'll buy you a drink.
I'll buy you a drink.
How you make that shit fart like that? Nigga, just get that extra air pocket in there by the base of your dick and shit. Extra air pocket,
Your
boy.
dick is queefing?
No. I'm sorry. I think I might have talked under you a bit when I
Like
said when I said
Your
that, like,
dick,
if
when
you
get ready
can't,
to come, it just goes first.
it'd be sick if it could. But no, I was talking about just
Your
chicks
dick
calling
belches.
in. I wish it could.
You want to hear some chicks come on the phone line?
That would be brilliant. Get all you chicks who come well, call us. Call us. You know, you could become a regular CP groupie.
Yeah.
Adam's like, oh my god,
Would you guys do porn?
like for a job, like professionally,
Yeah.
like repeatedly.
Would you
No.
Why not?
No.
So you remember
How
like,
much would it cost for you to do porn? $1,000?
How long?
How much would it cost for
One
you to
video?
do? Are you asking how
What
long?
are we
Yeah,
doing?
like, how
Are we
long-
doing
how long am I being
like just
subjected?
a scene, or are we doing a full
Couple
video?
vids.
Okay, a couple
yeah,
vids.
couple vids.
You
Couple
can give-
videos.
you can-
Yeah. Couple
I would
videos.
do $1,000 each.
$1,000 each?
$1,000 each, and some medical, saying that, like, she doesn't have anything crazy.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're not going to put you with dirty bitches.
No, but
I wanna
listen.
go through the full
You'd be
process,
surprised
but
at what some of those motherfuckers will do. They will cheat you. They will hurt. They
No,
don't
but you know
care.
what?
I know.
You know
some
what I
sex
just
workers.
heard about, and maybe I'm just fucking old, and I don't know shit. But apparently, so Alexis Texas was on No Jumper,
Yeah.
and she spoke about.
She was one of my first, like, Twitter
about the porn
followers.
industry. I fucking love Alexis Texas. But
alright.
she was talking about one of the things I didn't know about, and it was they have a video consent thing after the shoot. So after you're done, yeah, they have one before and they have one after. So
What do you mean?
the one before asks you like everything that happens on set, you know what the scene is, everything that happens you're totally okay with. She says yes, it's on video. Then after the shoot, they even do another video of her saying, her agreeing to and him agreeing to, the both of them, that everything that happened on set was consensual. And
just like legalities, making sure that nothing.
yeah,
goes
like
back.
they ramped
Yeah,
that
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Like that's how serious it is that they do a
Yeah, I
before
think that's
and after
one thing.
video
There's
now.
definitely some scummy porn people out there for sure, and I think that's just the
There's a
industry.
lot of
But
them.
if you get in with some of these bigger companies, like who the dudes in Florida, I can't think of their names, the brothers, the Bash Brothers or whatever the fuck they're called, Bang Bros or whatever, I can't remember. But
Yeah, Bang Bros,
some of
but
these
also Vivid, who
Vivid,
has done
that's
a
the
lot
one
of
I
the
was thinking of, too.
celebrity stuff. Vivid.
These companies are legit companies. Like,
Yeah,
you
those
have
companies are legit.
paperwork, You have contracts to sign. I mean, there is definitely, you're talking to lawyers. Like,
It's a
you're not
process. It's a
just walking
process.
into a
but
warehouse with
it's-
5 beds all over the place. And
But see, that's
cameras
my whole thing, right?
Watching people fuck.
Most people, like, most things have a legit side and most things have a shadier side. And when people run
For
into
sure.
porn, like, I thought about doing porn. Like, with my fucking career, yeah, I thought about it. But I also thought about, like, I talked to people. I talked to people who had tried it. I talked to people who actively had done it. Like, and I always want to hear the bad part, because the good parts are obvious. The good parts, I don't have to explore too deeply to find. The bad parts are what I wanted to hear about. And yeah, if you can get in with a good company and you have a talent, because here's the thing, dude, porn is not what it's like. Yo, we'll just turn on some porn. They think it's easy. They think to do porn as it is to turn it on, and it's not that way. You have to have something that they're looking for, and you need to do it well, and you need to do it repeatedly, and you should be kind of attractive, or at least, like I had said, have something that makes up for that lack of attraction if you have that. But I don't know, dude. Like, porn to me is to be enjoyed by the specialists. I'm a sex specialist, not a porn specialist. And I told you, like, when it comes to girls, I need an emotional attachment, and I'm not getting that from porn stars.
Sex specialist.
I'm a sex specialist. I'm a fuck specialist. I'm a sex specialist, a fuck specialist, not a porn
You make me laugh, Brando.
I love making you laugh, Matt.
This guy said he's a sex specialist.
I am.
Because he's got a fucking 2-liter as a fucking cock.
Yo, listen. There are recordings out there. You can go listen. They'll tell you I'm a sex specialist too.
Oh my god. Yeah.
You should tune in
$1,000
sometime.
for
Dan can
Brando.
tell you. He'll hit you up.
So $1,000 for Brando. What about you, Dan? Dan, you said, you just straight up said no. There's no amount of money.
Nah, dude. It's just, there's no coming back from that. Like, I remember.
What if you could wear a mask?
I remember.
What if you weren't? They couldn't see your face. They didn't know. It was
Maybe
you.
if I wore a mask.
You put a luchador on or something.
And yeah, probably. I would definitely do it, but there's just no coming
Like,
back
you're the
from
new
that,
Rey
man. Like, how do you
Mysterio.
explain that shit later? You know, when you're just trying to be a regular dude, just trying to have a regular fucking job, you're just never looked at the same. I remember, and I get that girls, like, go in to do it for a short period of time, and I remember for college, and I remember hearing this one young girl, Serena Ali, young black girl, and I remember her doing an interview on Sirius XM. Had it was YouPorn. It was like actual, like, the whole porn station. And people like Jessica Bangkok and a couple others had shows, like, and they would just take callers, talk to fans, and shit. It was pretty awesome. And I'm telling you, I remember she came on to do Serena Ali came to do an interview with one of the British porn stars that had a radio show there. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just doing this for college, you know, like, I'm just doing this to try to pay my way through college." And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how? If somebody sees you, you know what I'm saying? All we got to do is face match you now on Google. All you got to do is put a picture in Google and you can find somebody.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
I mean, that's how, like, people started catfishing people, right? Like, they started taking images
Exactly,
on Google,
yeah.
and then
Yeah,
you just start finding other images and shit.
You just start finding other images, and you
Well, I
know,
see
all you
what
gotta
Dan-
do is just do that, and it literally pulls up everything from Facebook and Twitter, and every picture you've ever put up online. If it has your face in it, it's pretty good at detailing and picking out pictures on Google Images. So I will tell you, man, like, it's just, the internet is not, like, you can't reverse that shit. Anything you put out there is, and you know what, porn has become like the music industry in my eyes so much, where it's like, you can get free music. How many people really are paying for porn these days anymore?
Why would you?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Like, why
exactly,
would you
and that's
pay
my
for porn?
point.
Like,
And I see a lot of the porn stars struggling, and they're trying to make careers for themselves and do live videos, shit, and fucking private dances and all this fucking shit. And hey, get your money however
there's
you gotta
enough
get it. You
dirty
gotta
fucks out
change
there
as the
that
climate
want
changes.
that VIP experience, so they're willing to pay that $19.99 a
Right.
month.
And there's also
And
enough
get
people
that
who actually have
one-on-one
that and
experience or
can
whatever.
afford it.
Right.
That's just
But
so
see-
crazy.
But those are
man.
those are
I
the
wanna
people
say that
that
though.
probably aren't paying for Apple Music and Hulu and Netflix.
Right.
Those-
they're horny,
those
bro. They're
expenses
fucking
are
horny.
going to their
And they
porn
probably don't.
account,
No one's gonna fuck them, dude. They probably got one leg. Their head's lopsided. They've got
They're
two
sitting
teeth.
in a fucking
no
one-bedroom
nose.
apartment, 500 pounds, eating a bag of Cheetos, drinking Diet Coke. Like that's
They
their
haven't
go-to.
seen their dick in 3 years. Like, of course they're gonna pay more.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is this, right?
Them
Dan,
feet.
I get where Dan's coming from. Like, Dan is pretty much saying, like, because of the state of affairs in society, and it's true, right? Like, you as a porn star, third person, are going to be looked at completely differently by people, a lot of people, probably the majority of people in America, especially, if you go try to do honest work, or not even. Let me rephrase, because that's not dishonest work. If you go try to do what people will call a normal job, right? If you go try to be a cashier, you go try to be a bank teller, you go try to be an accountant. If they find out that you did some sort of, pornography, well, that's against our company policy. We don't do that. We can't have anything like that here. But that doesn't make you a bad accountant. That doesn't make you a bad cashier or anything like this. That, to me, is societal. And that's exactly why I would do a porn. Me not doing porn has nothing to do with how other people think of me. I don't give a fuck what other people think. But if I was concerned about it, like if I had normal jobs, like if I had, if my trade was money management or something like that, I probably wouldn't do porn. I probably wouldn't have tattoos or a lot of other things that I've got going on. But man, dude, I don't give a fuck with people.
I just don't know how many porn stars are looked at or regarded as, I mean, even as a radio guy. Right? Like, I think it would be so hard to find a gig in radio if I was fucking on film.
Could be.
Would
And
it
most
be
of the
that-
time,
like, would it be that?
I don't really know. How many of these porn guys are
Because-
smart?
Well, it depends on
Are
which
smart?
ones. I mean,
They were given big dicks. I don't know if they were given brains, bro. You have to have one or the other. bro. You have to have one
There
or
are
the
some
other.
porn. Have you seen some of these porn? I don't know if, there's a lot of different porn out there. Not all of them have big dicks. Not at all.
I'm talking about. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about the guys. A lot of the guys just sound like fucking idiots.
But a lot of them are.
They just don't. I don't. Well, they don't talk. They just make the noises I want to hear. I am
You're talking about, like,
talking
camera
about
guys?
the men. Huh?
You talking about like camera guys or dudes moaning or like?
No,
Because I don't.
there's
Cause a
not
lot
the
of what they're
dudes
saying,
moaning.
Open your legs a little bit more. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You just rub it.
Hold on. Actually,
you're a
that
savage.
actually
You're a
brings up a
savage.
question. That bears a question now.
Yeah.
When you guys watch porn,
Right.
are you guys skipping through, or are you guys, to the action? Or are you guys watching the setup?
I'll let Adam go first.
He doesn't watch
mean-
porn. His girl would kill him. She would think it's cheating.
I watch a little bit of the setup. I mean, I'm curious. I think for the most part, I know what I'm. Okay, let's talk about this because we talked about this before, but this was an off-air conversation, so let's bring this on air now.
Right.
So I'll answer this, but also I'm going to throw out a question at the same time. What is your guys' go-to porn? So I think
I can't say mine.
You get the
Some of mine is
understanding
super
and the,
taboo.
and the gist from a title of the porn. So you kind of have the understanding. So if I know that I'm clicking on stepsister fuck stepbrother, okay.
You want to watch the setup of how that
I'm
happens.
going to watch
Yeah.
the first couple minutes and see how it plays out here. And then I don't need
Yep.
all the other bullshit. Let me just get to the pounding, I don't.
Yeah.
Look, just give me the 5 minutes of juiciness that I need.
Me personally, I watch a lot of different. I like cream pies. I like the black
love
on
cream
white
pies.
thing. I like the
Yep.
solos. One of my biggest things is the solos because it's kind of interesting that you should mention that, Dan.
I hate solos.
About guys. I about the guys and how the guys sound. I don't want to hear a guy's voice when I'm watching porn. If it's
Me
minimal,
either.
And if it's just a guy, maybe he's making some noises or saying something slight or not saying much at all. I like a trooper. a guy who's in there, who's putting in that work. He's a scientist. He's paying
Getting that shit in. Yeah.
But he's not a. Like, no, that sort of fucking pygmy gorilla, Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo shit. No, you can keep that shit right where you have. But that's why I like solos. I like solos because solos are just themselves, and you get to hear a lot more. It's like you and her only. I also like the porn.
Unless you're orchestrating, like girls are really boring playing with themselves. Unless you are orchestrating.
I don't know.
Unless you're directing what's going on.
That's my
watching
girls
play with themselves really just bores me.
I love listening to girls play with themselves. But the last thing I'll say though is this though, right? Oh no, sorry. No, the last thing I'll say is this.
No, go ahead.
When I watch porn and stuff, it's cool, but I think it's different for the blind people because I'm listening. I'm listening for certain things. I'm not watching anything. And as far as the setup,
that's kind of how porn is for blind people, right? Like you are more into the sounds.
Kinda. So it depends on who you ask.
Understanding what's going on, right?
No. So one of my friends, he's blind. He's got less vision than I do. This guy, his thing is he likes to watch porn to get him where he needs to be. But after a while, he doesn't really watch. I mean, the porn's kind of background noise. He's imagining things in his head. He's not really listening.
I was just about to say this.
Like, that's his thing. He's got like a little picture board going in his head.
I mean, that's what everybody I think does with porn. Like you're watching it.
No.
But you're
that's not what I do.
No. So here's the thing. I think one of the things for blind people, because this is what I used to do until I fucking until things changed and I just became a savage. But it was a mental thing for me. I did attribute a lot of the videos and stuff.
Oh my god, you got
to
how do you take a piss?
Past experiences, right? So a girl that I fucked was like a skinny Mexican. So I'll put in like petite Mexican or something like that.
So
I see what you're saying. So you're associating
and that's
your past with the porn.
No, I'm saying that's what I was. That's where I was before, and I think that's what a lot of people do. Blind people do. There's an association to because you have. That's the only physical reference of that you have. Right. So you're gonna look something like that up to kind of put that experience of that girl kind of moaning to something that you did.
And that's my thing, right? That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like blind people do that. And then when they're some of them, right? Some blind people do that and they're watching it.
Yeah.
After a while, the porn is background noise. What they're actually getting off to is what's going on in their head. They're thinking about what they did with Tanya. They're thinking about what they did with Melanie. And they're thinking about
there you go. That's what I'm saying.
At some point, something gets them and they're like, yes. You know, me, I actually do that when I'm not watching porn. When I'm not watching porn, I have that same picture thing going on in my head. But when I am watching porn, I'm putting myself in the porn with her. But so I do both, but it just depends on what I'm doing at the time.
So what's your guys' go-to categories?
Yeah, like I said, black on white, cream pie, solos, 2 girls, 1 guy. You guys know me. I'm also into 2 girls, 1 cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be certain cases where, like, if I'm in the mood to watch a black girl get fucked the shit out of her, I'll put like a a little ebony fat ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking big ass. Or big ass or some shit like that. But I like pogs. I told you guys that before. I love a good fat ass white girl. There's nothing like that. Black on white is always fantastic. Stepmom and stepson is always fantastic.
Stepmom and stepson is my go-to.
I'm a big milk guy, bro.
I forgot about that.
Milfs, I love milfs.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Milfs. And if anyone ever questions my MILF card, man, listen, I got pictures. But yeah, I got pictures. That's all I got to say.
I love milk.
But yeah, to piggyback on what Dan said, yeah, big porn that specializes in big asses. BBWs are kind of my thing. Porn that also specializes in large tits. That's also my thing. And I also like porn. Also, a lot of people might know it as camel porn. Anyone know what that is? Fun fact.
Wait, what?
Camel porn is where you have like large clitorises, pretty much. Like I like big.
Oh, the big dick clitorises.
The big clits, and the reason I like those, and I said this before, is because those are the ones that seem to squirt the most often. So I like squirt.
I'm not even gonna lie though. Because stepbrother and stepsister, he mentioned that earlier. I watched that too. Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't do the
Fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't do the family stuff. I'm not into the family stuff, but
That's not family.
to each his own.
Brando has limits.
That's somebody that was brought in.
Found
Well-
out Brando has limits. Holy shit.
That's somebody that was brought in. That's not a.
There is a boundary for Brando.
I mean, there are several, and they're in weird places. Most people wouldn't know where or what they are. They're in strange places, but yeah, they're definitely fucking boundaries. I'm not a pan.
Fucking boundaries. This guy's like to get shit on, and there's boundaries.
Oh, tons.
You
of boundaries.
can squat on him.
He just told me he has the fucking human toilet top.
But don't
fucking great.
be a
He has a
stepsister
toilet cover.
and stepbrother and fuck in front of him.
No. Be a stepbrother and stepsister.
Shit in
and
me,
fucking
but don't
and
shit
fucking-
around me.
And fuck in front of me if you want. But don't expect me to like jerk off to it. Like that's not going to turn me on or anything.
Hilarious.
Have you guys
what I
had
do it
sex with people in the same room?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Either with them knowing or without them knowing?
Both.
Both. Yeah.
Both. Okay. Yeah, I've done only just without them knowing.
Yeah, I guess.
And then there was one drunk guy who was like, "Oh yeah, they're having sex or whatever," and I was like, "Well, he's drunk. Nobody's gonna really pay attention to him and believe him." He's over here in the corner. I just felt the bed move against my back.
Don't worry about it.
No, don't worry about it. It's like
Push back so I don't have to work so hard.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
dog.
take a shit. Give me
Yeah,
some-
man, help me a little bit here. Give me some
Help
fucking
out.
help with
Lean
this
into that
goddamn.
shit.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
a kinetic or
The chick I'm fucking
It's
Energy.
really
Little titties,
interesting.
motherfucker.
It's interesting how much porn has become just so open now. Like, even just 10 years ago, people would have been so afraid to talk about what kind of porn they're into and, you know,
Social media did
having
that.
people know that they watch porn and stuff like that. Yeah, I think social media. I think even
yeah.
like comedians started talking about it way more. Like that.
But you know what it is?
Such a
You know
thing.
what I think it is
Just
too?
opened up.
Speaking of that, by the way, there was a fucking news report. I love how the news has literally become a like parody of itself. I saw a fucking news headline the other day about how Twitter went crazy because Obama had followed Sarah J on Twitter. And everybody went nuts. But that's my thing. Like, I think
Who's Sarah J? I don't know. Who
social
Sarah J is.
media. Sarah J is another porn star, but
Oh, okay.
and fat ass. But the thing is, to me, it's like
pussy though.
it's definitely social media. But you ever find it really crazy that porn sites had share links? There's just something really odd about that. You know, like you weren't gonna share that places.
But I think
Until
they
it
know that.
became
I think-
okay
I
to
think
share
they
it places,
knew-
and
but
like
see,
they
that's-
became Instagram models, and you know, girls showing their ass and
people
titties on
shared
social media
porn
all the
before
time.
It was acceptable. People definitely shared porn before, but they didn't like put it on like anywhere where everybody would see it. They would share like, "Yo, I know Brian likes big asses, so I
They had a little-
this." I'm gonna share this with Brian, or I'm gonna share this with Camille, or I'm gonna share this with Danny. Like, I'm gonna share this with specific people. I'm not about to put this on my Facebook though, or MySpace, whatever it might been. And let me also say this one thing: when it comes to this sort of thing, I think blind people have always been ahead of their sighted counterparts when it comes to like sex and porn and anything like this. So far as I can tell, blind people have never had a problem talking about this shit. Sighted people, on the other hand, definitely have. And a lot of the more, I guess you could say, conservatively raised definitely have. I don't have a problem. I've never had a problem talking about porn or anything like this. But who were we talking about porn with? Oh, there is pushback, though. There is pushback from the conservative right, the fundamentalist right, and the more proper sort of people. They don't like porn. There's actually websites out, with such names as Fight the New Drug and Porn, the Problem for Our Children. They have these websites out now, and they're really pushing the idea that porn's a new drug and that porn addiction is one of the worst things going on in society right now. Like, there's a group of people that are getting a voice. And it's not that loud of a voice, because a lot of these same people, if you press them on it, will tell you that they too watch porn. But what they're trying to push, because they know they have no leg to stand on when they say porn's bad, what they're trying to push is that porn leads to addiction. And my whole thing is this: I'm not sure how, because I see people who watch porn all the time. That doesn't stop them from wanting actual sex. And when they get that actual sex, you'd be surprised at where those porn videos go. So the addiction angle, I think it can be addictive in the same way social media can be, mentally. It's not an actual addiction. It's very much in your
Do you guys
head.
have sex tapes?
Yes.
More than one?
Some audio.
Yes.
I've had some in the past and I've lost it, but I only have like one accessible to me now. I don't really like, cause people always like, it's so funny. All my friends are always like, yo, record yourself or put yourself somewhere to and I'm just like, yo, look, I'm every time I smash, I really am not thinking about my phone. I'm really
No.
putting down my phone and I'm taking my time with the bitch. Like, I'm not trying to fucking open an app and hit record and hope that it's gonna capture it and set it up the right way. And it's like putting on a condom. That's why I hate putting on condoms. You have to fucking get up and just go take it out.
Sorry if you guys can
roll it
hear
on and then go back
background
in.
noise. Hector's outside mowing the yard, so
I thought his name was Jose.
it changes every week.
Yeah, no, he sent his cousin out.
His name was Antonio.
I had to bring it
Jose had a
because it's pissing
hangover.
me off, so-
Miguel
so I
showed
don't know
up,
if you guys can hear, but-
back in October.
Yeah, no. It's definitely
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
But yeah, no. So you're saying though that your friends want you to record it. I want to go back to what you were saying for a second. Your friends wanted you to record
I'm just
your
saying
shit
that
and show it to them, like send it to them.
Oh yeah, all the time. I mean, my friends are nasty. I have fucking dirty friends. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
friends
have you
show
met
me.
me?
Like I have my one friend, my one boy Eric. My one boy Eric back in the day, that nigga was showing me some videos of him fucking
Eric,
the
the biologist.
shit out of his girl's ass, bro. He was just fucking pounding her asshole like a pussy and just like savage,
Jesus.
bro. Savage. Oh yeah, no. My friends and I have recorded have traded sex recordings, or not traded, but they have not been shy about having sex in front of me. I
Like,
welcome it. I
sex
don't care
recordings
about
like
that shit.
Pokemon cards. What the fuck?
I don't
Yeah,
care about that. Oh
sex
yeah, I
recording-
don't
sex
give a
I'll
recording
give you
is
two
a-
So
blowjobs
listen,
for one anal. Like, what do you
I
got?
am not.
There used to be a voice
fucking
app.
petty or picky about sharing sex recordings. If you want to hear a sex recording, you can hear a sex recording. God damn.
They used to have. We started the Worldwide Stoners on an app. Excuse me. Called Roger. And Roger was one of the best fucking apps because it was so fast. It was so intuitive. You can like record a message while you're listening to, the message, and it would pause, but it would also play your messages so you didn't have to touch your phone. So you could just listen to your messages and not have to touch your fucking phone, and it would just skip through. A lot more swift than fucking WhatsApp. But yeah, I had Brando and a couple other friends of mine shared some recordings on there. Or sex audio of them just fucking, and I was like, I welcomed it. We actually had a guy leave. He was like, I don't want to hear any of that. In the group, we're supposed to be smoking. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you old ass crotchety dude. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I mean, I get it a little bit. I'm not against hearing the homie pound one out, but it's at the same time, like, I'm like, yo, I don't need.
I'm congratulating him.
If I come across it, I come across it, but it's like I don't need you sending it to me to like flex. Like,
it doesn't bother me.
I'm not gonna say
if Brando sent me a recording tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, word up.
Congrats. Look at you doing work.
But see, recording is something that you have to consciously do, because I can't tell you how many times I was planning on recording and just forgot. You know what I mean? Like, I actually have to get up and actually turn it on.
Well, it's like Dan said, I don't think about it in the moment.
Yeah, I originally talked about, what it's like to fucking try to record sex years ago. I talked about it at length. I'm not, dude. I'm not. If I record, it's because probably the phone was there and apps were already open. It was in such a way. I mean, like Demo. Demo's another homie of ours who's definitely heard me lay some shit down the right way.
I heard Demo getting head.
Dude, I've heard that bitch. I heard he was trying to convince.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And she was like, "Hell no, I'm not sitting up." So, like that's so like that's where it is with me. But I have no problem recording anything. I like to hear myself back, even though I don't talk.
You think women are just as fucking bad and nasty as men are when it comes to like porn and their sex?
The ones that are into
obviously
it, yeah.
we know, like we know when we're with a woman how far we can go and how far they're willing to go. But like when they're with their girlfriends and just chatting it up, you think women watch just as much porn and talk just as much as dudes do?
Okay, that's different. No, like I would say that women, they're just as nasty as we are, but they don't do it around us. And even the girlfriends they trust, they'll talk about it for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then it's like, let's go do it.
And then they're back to talking about their purses and their shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they think about it, they like it, they enjoy it, but it's on a different level. With us, they
think about it more than us,
do not
though.
Allow us to not think about it.
Like when we think about it, I think it's focused, right? Like, we'll talk about it for a minute. We'll make a whole fucking bar conversation out of it. But women, like you said, will make it a short thing, but they're still bringing it up more often. Like, they're still bringing it up more in just, like, even though it's short spurts, I feel like it's on their mind more.
So the way women do it is like, yo, my God, last night Johnny really oh my God, you cannot believe what he did to me. I didn't even know I had. Oh my God, how are your shoes? You said you were gonna get shoes last week. How did they turn out? And then it's like that goes on. Shoes, purse. God, yeah, God, I'm feeling it. Oh my God, last night. Yeah,
and it's true. And when niggas get around, when niggas get around each other though. Dude, girl, like, yo, I was beating that shit up last night. Oh yeah, word
bro,
got
but
me
that's
up back.
That's all we do. Like, there's a study on this, right? There's a study done on this. It's something like guys think about sex something like every 7 seconds, and women think about it something like every 12 seconds to 25 or some crazy shit. There's a stat out like that. Someone actually did a study on it. We cannot help that. And that's something that I think if women, and I think same way, women and men and women, if women could understand where we're coming from when we talk about the urges we feel and what it's like to have testosterone factories between your legs, they'd understand why men are the way they are. And yeah, they would get it. They would understand the violence. They'd understand the pain. They'd understand sexual frustration on a different level. It's insane.
They don't understand what blue balls
I
really
think if we,
is. Like, they think blue balls is a joke.
We had estrogen, and I think if we had estrogen, I think if we had, we bled for 8 days and didn't die and had huge, enormous milk factories on our fucking chests, maybe we would think differently too. But man, dude, there's something to be said.
More sensitive.
We would be. Estrogen does that. If your estrogen is off, you do tend to do womanly things. It's a fact. But
so one of my favorite things to watch, like I watch anytime there's a video of like people jumping people, beating each other up or something, or like, oh, there's a live stream of somebody that gets shot. I always click it and watch it. And my lady's like, what is wrong with you? Like, why do you watch these things? It's like, I
know, dude.
I need to see these things.
I have to see it.
I need to see what's going on in my world. I can't just be oblivious.
Yeah. Like,
I can't just be
I
oblivious.
just don't want to watch that. Like, well, that's where we're different.
Yeah, no, I saw a guy shoot himself in the fucking head on
places.
World Star in 2012.
Excuse me.
In a fucking, it was in a courtroom.
Man.
He fucking was able to sneak the gun under the chair, and when the fucking deputy walked out, just put it under his fucking chin and.
Yeah.
Why was he about to get like life in prison or?
I guess.
Shit.
I guess.
But that was the.
But like I've seen some shit.
A couple of years ago, the dude that was going around Ohio and Michigan or whatever, and randomly killing people or whatever, and he
killing
was, like,
people. An Uber driver. He was an Uber driver.
Yeah, and then he went to like his work. No, I don't think was he an Uber driver. I thought he worked at like a
this was in
nursing home
Michigan
or something, but I watched the whole thing.
He was driving around shooting
live
people.
Feeds that he did, like what the fuck? Like this is nuts.
And then he would pick up people in between the shootings. Like he would drop them off, and then he would just go to shoot the people.
Yeah.
And then he'd just pick up another person.
Wait,
and just do the ride, and then just.
In the head, is it?
Huh? No. This is a different guy.
Yeah.
I was getting stories.
About like 216.
Shit, dude.
But
yeah. Now that I do remember, he was in Detroit. He was an Uber driver, shooting people between shootings, taking fares. Yeah.
Between taking fares.
Like people are just savages.
Now, on the other side of that,
man.
I remember there was a husband and not a husband and wife, a boyfriend, girlfriend, like young guy, like 19, 20 or whatever the fuck it was, down in like Georgia or somewhere. They got an Uber to where they were going, and the Uber driver gets there. He's like, dude, there's nothing here. They get out the car. They're like, no, it's all good. They get out the car. They hold their doors open so he can't pull off. They grab his door handle, pop the lock, pull him out of the car, and beat the shit out of him. Jump in the car and drive off.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens too.
All that shit.
No, dude, it's crazy. Like, the stuff that's made it to the internet that we see, right? Because we all know about the dark web. Right. And the dark web is about 97% of what the internet really is. We only, on the World Wide Web here, see about 3% of content. The rest is in the underworld. And that's where you can literally find books on how to make bombs, how to be a terrorist, fucking how to kill babies, how to fucking...
I wrote most of them.
It's some of the most... gruesome shit.
Jesus.
Did you say what I think you said?
No, we're gonna edit that out. It's all curvy.
This is live.
I can't edit it out. This shit is live.
Well, Trump's people are gonna be knocking on the door like, yo, nigga, you did what?
No, they'll be like, you're my guy.
You're us.
And you're black. Winner.
Yeah, my name is Mohammed.
It's like Howard Stern with Robin Quivers.
It's like black people who come.
He
up
hired
with
a black
very
woman so
Muslim
you can
names
fucking
that aren't very Muslim and shit. They create Sunni and Shiite fucking names that really would never go together in real life. Kareem, Abdul, Jabbar. Like, dude, really? Is that really how your parents were rocking, or did you come up with that? Elijah Muhammad.
I love when I get a phone call up from a clearly Indian dude from one of these scam calls, and he's like, "Hello,"
and he tells you it's
my name
Brian.
is Mark Smith. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Your name is not Mark Smith. Fuck out of here. Your name
You
is
just
not
pulled
Mark
up one of
Smith.
those name generators on fucking Google and was like, oh, this is going to be my name for the day.
It's like they give them a list of names, and it's like whatever one they can say the easiest. Like, oh, I can say I can't say John very well. My H's, it comes out John. I can't say
Yeah.
John.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's great. And as soon as I get someone who's obviously not a Nick Johnson like they try to claim to be from India and shit, I make sure I say my name is Rajad bin Singh Kalal. And as soon as I say that, it's weird. They always hang up. I don't know why.
You know what's crazy?
They thought you were one of their counterparts.
There was a story that was,
I know, right?
I was
It's like,
reading
yeah,
today.
they didn't want to be
with
scammed.
This coronavirus. It's like
He's like, hey, it's another
people-
call center.
I don't want to be scammed.
what is?
That's great.
Oh, no.
No, we're making fun of
I was still making jokes about the guy.
the fucking idiots. Yeah, I said that they always hang up when I say my name is like Ben Al Faisal or some shit, and then like, of course they hang up. They don't want to get scammed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good reason to hang up.
They don't need car insurance in India.
No, my mom died. I need some money. Can you help me? We're trying to pick up this new batch of AK-47s the Israelis dropped off.
I told the dude the other day that I had coronavirus, and he's like, "Oh, you're in the hospital?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "You still need insurance?" I said, "Good job on staying fucking consistent. Look at you trying to get that.
You need
get
insurance,
that money.
cousin?
Get that
Yeah,
money.
he's
Good
about
for
it, bro.
him.
You need insurance?
Good for him.
You're
I would
taking
hire
the job
him
serious.
tomorrow if I had a marketing company.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful.
He had a job. He was told what to do, and he wasn't gonna stop, no matter what. 844-997-0775. Hit us up. Hashtag comfortably poor on Twitter. Ask us anything. Talk with us. Share stories. Whatever you got. We're here. Trying to take your mind off the coronavirus.
Yeah, stop thinking about that shit.
Yeah, just go out and catch
Speaking
it.
of this, real
Did you
quick,
see?
all of this
sorry, go
toilet paper is being, like, people are going crazy over toilet paper. And it had me start thinking about this, so I looked this up last night. Toilet paper was invented in 1857. What did people do before that? Like,
What
they
idea?
just walked around with dookie
With no
booty
nozzle?
all day? Like, you just dropped a deuce and just,
Wait.
like, you couldn't go shit to shower back then. You didn't have showers.
Nah.
You had to, like,
You didn't have showers. You
get
better
your
hope
hot
that there
water
was
and
some.
boil your water. Like,
Nah.
You better
What I
hope
heard-
there
Pull your
was a
drawers up and-
fucking
I can.
pipe.
I think in different places they did it differently. I know in places like Central Asia and shit, they would use water back then. It wasn't a shower; it's like more like a bucket. And a lot of places they still have that. They have apparently like some sort of bucket on a chain with water in it, and it's polite to dump it and refill it, I guess. Other places they did exactly what we were talking about the other day. They just use leaves. They use leaves,
leaves.
cloth,
just leaves and
You know,
stick.
leaves and sticks,
Just
some cloth
like a
maybe.
bear in hibernation. Just eat a bunch of fucking shit so it clogs your asshole, huh? And you just don't.
I'm
even-
sure that there
I
was.
don't know. I don't think it works
I'm
like
sure
'cause
that,
people always have, like, easy-
trees were already producing paper. So I'm sure that people were using some type of paper, just even if it was
Not
just like
our
everyday
toilet
fucking
toilet
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
it
that
was
was like, and then eventually somebody was like, I wonder, we need to make something for the asshole that's soft. Because this fucking printer paper ain't cutting it. This fucking notebook paper sucks asshole.
Well, back then it wasn't notebook paper or print
It was
paper. Back then it was
printer
parchment.
paper.
It
Yeah.
was parchment, right? So they was taking like Harry Potter
Printer paper's
parchment
cutting it,
scrolls and
alright.
just fucking
You got
wiping their
paper cuts on
ass.
your ass?
Bro, you want some real paper
That's
cuts?
what I'm-
Get yourself some. You want some real paper cuts? Get yourself some embossing paper. Nigga, you show you some real paper cuts. Tear the fucking holes off that shit. Hey, Dave, anybody remember the fucking embossing paper when you would tear the extra holes off? That shit sounded like a
I
fucking
do.
Uzi?
Yes, sir.
Like, dude, there's a silence machine gun in here. The fuck are you doing? Nah, that's some sharp ass paper, cuz I got cut with that a few times.
Yeah, no, it is. No.
That's insane.
Braille and embossing paper is a
That's the
motherfucker.
blind people braille joke.
Parchment for your ass.
Yeah, that was just one of those.
Shout outs out to all. Hey, yo, who's in the chat? Shout outs out to all the people watching. Hannah, Ness, got our usual Sam.
Listen,
I'm sure got our usual people out there.
Sam, all in the YouTube, just commenting on everything. She's commented on everything from guys sounding really weird and porn.
Don't push her away. Don't offend our one caller.
I'm sorry.
That's it's the only thing that we have to make us look like a real show.
Yeah, just because everybody else is too pussy to call in. Why do you think they're scared to call in?
I don't know. Why do you think
we're
they're
too
scared
much?
to fucking share the show too? Just fucking hit that share button and retweet. God damn it.
Share button, baby. What you doing?
Because we're not family friendly, and they don't want to lose family members.
Fuck your family. I don't care.
I agree.
We'll be your new family.
They can all kiss a train. Listen to the Comfortably Poor podcast.
Go
come talk to your Uncle Brando. Uncle Brando
Joe
always
and
listen to
Melissa
you.
Smith, they want to
listen.
share. Did you see what Kelvin did this morning? He made a fart sound with his mouth, and it was so adorable. Fuck you.
Did either of you remember that ad that I ran where I was where I was swearing a lot, and I was like, "Yo, something about a hoe and being comfortably poor." So you remember? Does anyone remember that really explicit ad I ran?
Whoa.
No.
Yeah, I ran a really crazy ad, and they got traction in one of these blind groups, and somebody lost their shit. And they were like, "You could have said exactly what you just said, but you didn't have to say all that filth and all that garbage. I know you're only looking for a certain crowd of person, but you could get so many more different types of people if you would just..."
Do you think?
I put out a tweet the other day about your dick beaters and twat ticklers.
But no, look, dude. Here's my thing. If me changing my language in the way I say is going to get those sorts of whining ninnies to come watch, then I definitely don't want to change what I'm saying. Because I don't want fucking sissies to be watching this and trying to tell you need to change this. You need to. I mean, that's a good way to get flagged. Getting people to watch you who don't like you and pressuring them to do so is a wonderful way to get flagged. Because they're not going to like what you're going to say anyway, no matter how you dress it up. And I'm not going to dress anything up for any of these fucking idiots.
Yeah. No, I think it becomes more. I think this is why people are so angry now, especially people that are literally, I think, 25 and up, because of this sensitive shit. What is hate speech? And at what point did we decide, okay, we're going to censor people, or we want people to really, really cater to our sensibilities? I feel like at one point in life, we were all in the agreement that, life's not easy. People are assholes. People are going to be mean. You're not going to meet the nicest people in the world. People are going to say some really mean and racist things to you. And that's just the way that it goes. When did we shift from that mentality to oh my God, you need to change your verbiage. You could have said that differently. That's really crazy. We can't say those things anymore. I can't believe you. When did that switch? Because I don't have the patience for that shit. Fuck you and fuck how you want me to talk for you. I can't. People used to always say, I'm not for the faint of heart.
In the podcast world, so I'm in a bunch of different these podcast groups. I think we're all in kind of some of the same ones. When I go to click on some of these people's podcasts, and I get it, it's their thing, it's their subject matter, whatever it might be. It's just, it's fake to me. I can't. It's too done up. It's too edited. It's too just not. It doesn't seem real. Even if you're gonna talk about movies or talk about music, be real about it. Don't edit it up and make it sound all precise and you're being fake about this. And I don't know. I don't like that shit. And I think that's why I wanted to start this and I came to you guys is because raw, unfiltered, real conversations is, I think people enjoy that shit. Are we working on getting traction still? Of course. But like all the podcasts that I listen to are like this. Like I listen to dudes and chicks and just whoever just having raw, open, unfiltered conversations. And you're getting a glimpse into what it would be like to hang out with them or what it would be like to, just have an open conversation with these people. And that's where I'm like, yeah, this is dope. Like, I'm not going to change. I'm going to do this and I'm not going to change anything. And
Hell yeah,
when you
dude.
see people that are like, I don't like your content. It's not, it's too what? It's too real. Like, then don't fuck with it. Like, go watch your fake bullshit.
I just,
like you said,
it's
I'm
like,
not
it's
gonna
crazy
change
that there are people, and there's everything for everyone, but
Bless you.
I can't believe that we've worked to a point in our lives where and have so much access to life, like, and shit that happens in our life. Is it too much for the brain to process?
No,
Like,
what I think
exactly is about it?
I would say for them, not when I say them, I mean the people who actually push back against us,
Right.
and the unfiltered way we do things, or even the vulgar way that we do things, especially me sometimes. I think it's people don't like things said in a blunt fashion, and that's exactly why people. That's where this whole idea.
They
you
want
always
it dressed up.
Ever hear someone say, I'm like, I'm going to be blunt now. You don't mind if I'm blunt with you, do you? May I be blunt? These things come out of the fact that people actually cannot deal with.
I never
and don't
give disclaimers like
to
that.
be blunt. Like they don't. Most people aren't used to it. So if you say some real shit to somebody, they're going to be like, why'd you have to say it like that?
People can't handle it. They can't handle it.
Well, it's so true, because I'll say, oh man, that's so true. Like a girl will come to me for advice about her and her guy, and she's already gone to a few people for advice. You know what I'm saying? But she's coming to me because she knows what she's gonna get. As much as she hates when it comes out, she's coming to me because everybody else gave her the fluff. I'm just going to tell her, yo, you're being straight up stupid and you're giving this guy too much credit. Either leave him or you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's blunt. I'm going to tell it like it is. If you're not ready for that, don't call my phone. Don't call my phone. Or just don't look at my social media. My radio social media is so vulgar.
People just want to hear the things that they're comfortable with. Like, it's okay if I walk into a room and say, "Oh my God, I love the person I'm with. We had an amazing night last night. Isn't it great to just be with someone like that?" Now, that's completely different. If I were to walk in and say, "Jesus fucking Christ, last night I left so many fucking children and that chick's fucking cunt," you could not fucking imagine. Jeez, I could marry that chick. I've blown so many loads in her.
That's how I say it.
You know, like that.
Oh, dude, I shot up the club last night.
That sort of shit is what they don't want to hear. But here's the thing. There's obviously people who do want to hear it. That's what the whole point of the Comedy Cellar is for. It's the whole point of fucking Comedy Central. There is a niche for it, but people don't like the in-your-face way to do it. They want to be coddled. And they're not going to call it that because that in and of itself is too honest. They're not going to call it coddling. They're going to call it, "I just like you to say it nicer." Yeah?
But speaking of like comedy, like look at Daniel Tosh. Like
Daniel Tosh.
A lot
like
of people,
Tosh. I really like him.
He had a struggle trying to get started, but then once he really took off, like so many people were against him because he said the shit like us. He said the shit that everybody was thinking, but everybody was too scared to actually say it. But he was saying it on stage with the microphone.
Well,
And,
a lot of people
he caught a bunch of flack about it in the beginning.
I think it's also climate. Comedy had this period where, like, and it's still heavy today, but comedy had this period where they really were trying to say, outrageous comedy is too much. and you actually were really afraid as a comic in the mid 2000s if you were too controversial, because a lot of people, you know, if you were trying to get a TV show, they really didn't want that kind of shit, right? They wanted you to be reality, follow the script. Yeah. You know, and comics, and so comics had a tough time, but you know, there was some raw shit with, you know, comics back in the day, right? I'm not a fan, but one of the guys who pioneered that kind of shit was Dice Clay. And
you're not a fan of Andrew Dice Clay?
No, I'm not. I think he's obnoxious. I like him as a person, just like sitting in a conversation. Like I loved him on Rogan and on Diaz and shit. But as his comedy, I don't like overdone comedy, dude. I really don't.
Yeah.
I like you just being you, telling jokes. I fucking just saw Bert's special last night.
Yeah, I got to watch part of that.
Oh, it was so good.
It was
so good.
Smelling like
it was a lot
Snoop
better
Dogg's
than I
fingers.
expected,
That shit
actually.
was hilarious, nigga. That was like, goddamn.
Nah, that nigga is savage, and he's not playing up anything. And I love how real the stories were, you know? The dad story with the owl shit. It was hilarious, but
that shit was too funny.
He was like, let me show you how stupid she is. You think you know how dumb she is? Let me show you how stupid she is. But talks about his kids. Now,
I think because of social media and the savagery and who we have as our president and how everything has just become a joke, I think comedy is finally getting its legs back in that way, where it can be a little more brutal. It can be a little more raunchy without kind of getting heads turned.
Well,
you know?
a lot of what it was bad in the mid 2000s, but what really kind of brought it even to the point where we're having to revive it is this whole social justice fucking movement. That movement, combined with kicking people out of universities for saying things that you didn't want to hear, combined with safe spaces, combined with the feminist thing, right and wrong. It's an environment for people to be offended if you have a different colored pencil than they do. So it's just, with that, of course, comedy is going to in some ways suffer. But whenever that happens, comedy tends to thrive even more, because it's like, oh, I can't say that, can I? Oh, now you just given me some topics. I'm going to say all of that shit and more. And I'm going to come up with more shit that you don't like.
We have a few ladies listening to the show. I want to transition here real quickly. And I want to see if ladies can confirm this. Would you guys say that it's just people, or if it's women? But I've heard that women know within 20 seconds of meeting a man that they will fuck him. Do you think that is true for just women, or do you think that is for everybody?
If I'm not mistaken,
or do you think the time is longer?
No, it probably something like that. As far as like once you decide that this person is a safe person, 20 seconds maybe. But I think for a guy, I think it's maybe even shorter second, probably more like 9 or 10 seconds. Yeah, I think there's some truth to it. I think it's set up wrong. I think the premise is set up wrong. They make it sound like, a woman looks at a guy, is like, oh, I don't think it's like first glance sort of thing.
No. I don't think it's that. I think it's just mentally you have that check note.
Physical attraction.
You have that. Like, oh, I know I would fuck this person. Like that is the thought. It's not like you're gonna jump their bones and rip their fucking clothes off.
It's the look.
It's their physical presentation, right? It's that physical and that's the thing. It's guys have it too, but women really
I don't even know
this thing like
maybe if they just. I guess so. I guess it is.
The way we as guys,
it's definitely physical. Because if you're
it makes sense.
Walking down the street and you see a dude. If you're a female, and you're walking down the street and you see a dude, that catches your eye and you're looking in 20 seconds. 20 seconds is a good amount of time. So you're
That's a good
sitting
amount
there
of time.
staring at him for 20 seconds and you haven't said a goddamn thing to him. Your pussy's starting to tingle. That's just
It's
off
a
his
sign.
looks.
It tells you something.
I mean,
That's off of
It
his.
is.
Okay,
But here's the thing, right? And here's the thing,
You're
right? And
absolutely
that's
right.
on the physical. There's two sides to this. On the physical, but men and women both have a physical and emotional side. So on the physical side, women have that thing about guys they like, just like we do. You know, we like walking. We like the way, you know, maybe it's the way a girl walks. Maybe it's the way she swings her
ass
hips.
sways.
Maybe it's the fact that she has hips. Maybe it's the fact she's got a fat ass. Maybe it's the way that dress hangs on that ass. Maybe, listen, I've heard such things as it's the way she eats. Whatever it is that's physical that you like about that women have the same thing about us. Sometimes it's the way we walk. It could be the profile of a guy. It could be the height. It could be the breadth of his shoulders. Like broad shoulders are big for women. You know what I mean? Like, and height obviously is a big thing for women. But whatever it is, they have that. But that's usually not how they filter the guys out. Not that they do fuck. Yeah, they would fuck that beautiful looking, you know, what did you call him? Channing Tatum person look like over there? Yeah, they would fuck that person. But the way they filter out all of the physically appealing people and get to the one they want is with emotion. The way we filter out what we want is through physicality. And that's the primary difference.
when you
between
say
men and
we,
women.
you're talking we as in men?
We as in
Or
males,
what do you
yes.
mean by we?
Yeah, we as in
Yeah,
males, we do our filtration via physical, more physical than anything.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I
think
agree.
everybody's
Listen,
slightly
there- I-
different.
I'd
I think
say there-
everybody's
I think
slightly
there's-
different. I think even
I think
men
everyone's
can do
slightly
the
different,
filtering
but by
by
and large,
emotion. I think there's
I think
men
they
that do
can.
it by physical. I think there's women that do it by emotion. I think there's women that do it by physical.
I agree.
Everybody
There-
has their thing.
everyone
that
has
goes
their
through
thing.
their process.
But
No, but
by and
I think he's
large,
saying
by and
more than-
large,
more than so.
men are the physical. Men are the physical ones,
More than not,
and more than not, women are the emotional ones. And that's how
men
we filter
are
out our mates.
figuring out on a really savage scale. If a man's trying to pick a woman, he's gonna find the most beautiful out of the pack of women he's talking to, and the one that could fuck him the best.
That's the idea.
And she might
anyway.
not be the 10.
Exactly.
She might not be the 10. She might be the 7. She might be the 8.
Well, if
There's
she's
a
the
9
most
and a 10 in
beautiful
there, but she can't give head for shit.
Well, see, let me rephrase what Dan
You know what
said.
I'm saying?
The way I would put it is not the most attractive to that person. Whoever's the most attractive to Roger,
Yeah, okay, there you
Roger's
go.
going to go after that person.
All right.
And
yeah.
I agree with you. I would agree with you, Adam. Like people do what's best for them. There's no question about it. But we definitely know the people who are the more physical ones. Like it's seen throughout. Like it's not even a debated thing in biology. But I will agree with you, especially in that, because I said it myself. Like when I have sex with people, the best sex is the ones with emotion. Is the best sex with emotional connection. There's an emotional connection to that person. There.
with emotional.
Yeah, with an emotional attachment. That's kind of why I said. You remember when I've said before, like that's part of the reason I wouldn't do porn, or I don't like to. I don't stay out of relationships for very long. I keep.
Right.
I'm always in one. It seems because of that goddamn emotional fucking attachment. So yeah, I get that, but I just know that from everything I've read, from everything that I've studied, it's women do their picking. Yes, one part physical, but more emotional than anything. Because you can ask any chick that you could be a 10 out of 10 on every physical thing, but if you are emotionless and have no personality, you'll probably be either cheated on or left.
Just listen to the words that are used, though, right? When a dude is talking about fucking a new chick with his dudes, he's like, "Yo, I'm fucking this girl." And when a girl says it to her girl, she says, "Yo, I'm talking to this guy."
yes.
That's
yes,
you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
that is so
just the
true.
verbiage is everything.
That is so fucking true.
It's everything.
That is true. That's
And
really true.
I don't, and that's how I can genuinely like, and that's how I tie it to like the cheating thing. Like I bring this point up all the time, and I brought it up to Lisa that emotional that cheating hurts more from women because there's more investment. A guy is just trying to get his dick wet, get a nut off, and he feels bad about it.
He's trying to answer nature's call. is the way I would describe it. Guys are trying to answer the call of nature. If a woman's cheating on you, here's the thing. I know some women who have higher sex drives than guys that I know. So it could be that women are trying to answer the call of nature, but more often than not with women, it's more like they don't like the guy they're with, or there's something that they did, something that a guy did they don't like or approve of, to the point where they feel like they need to go find it or correct it by getting back at him.
Yep, it's more of a game where a guy, it might be, and in most cases, it is a mistake. Why is it that guys don't want their girls to leave them? They settled with you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made it. You're the one who made it out of all these hoes. I could get pussy. So if it was about pussy, I can, you know what I'm saying? So there is always, I think there's always that aspect of men. Men, once men choose, they settle, and there is a mistake factor there, and I think you're just human, you know?
In regards to cheating.
In regards to cheating, if we're talking about the way in the dynamics of how men and women respond to cheating. But if we're just talking about just regular attraction, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If we want to go back to regular attraction, I just think it's definite. I agree with him. It's definitely physically based for men and emotionally based for women.
Mostly, yeah. Let's get. Hey, yo, have you ever noticed these chicks with masculine names always have these fucking crazy ass sex drives? Man, these bitches with masculine names, there's something about them, bro. I don't know what it is. When you name your daughter something that can double as a masculine name, listen, Jesus, Ashley's, Tracy's, you know what's the Adrian? Holy jeez, these women are sad. These are vicious.
Jesse's.
They will just. Oh, listen, I got tossed on the bed and a titty jammed in my mouth by a Jessie. I'm like, bitch, you barely got titties. What are you doing? Calm down. Your fucking tricep pressing ass. God damn. Now some of these women are nuts, dude. Honestly, they are. And I don't try to, you know, I'm not a one size fits all type of person, but man, something about them.
I think
do you have that
too,
Nick Cannon clip?
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, brother.
No, I was just going off what he was saying. There's it. It's interesting when you try to think. Like, how am I trying to explain it? Like a name, like he was saying, like Ashley's, Tracy's, things like that, like high sex drives, like trying to associate what somebody's like thing is based off like their name or something.
Their
like
name, yeah.
Yeah, like
I feel like we did this in a live show too, actually.
We may
No,
have.
we did this in a podcast a long time ago, and I don't know if it ever made it out, but I definitely love talking about the commonalities in names. So like, my biggest example I always give is Kayla's. Kayla's love black dick.
Kayla's are great. Yep.
Every Kayla I've ever known about has chipped a fucking black guy.
Yep, it's fucking wonderful.
That
goes
Amanda's are loopy.
Amanda's have fat asses. Amanda's
air.
have enormous asses. The type of ass that stops traffic. Like, if you ever saw ass in the street that made your car burn rubber and almost hit someone else's, Geico shit, that's Amanda. Her name's probably Amanda. That bitch's name was, or Hannah. Hannah's and Amanda's have ridiculous donks for asses. Donkey booties. Retarded.
And they're ditzy. They're ditzy.
Hey, listen.
Hannah's are ditzy as shit. Amber's are mentally ill, whiny babies.
And at RKRV3, if you want to try Brando on Twitter. If you're a Hannah or Amanda.
Listen, I already said white people don't care if their girls shower.
Hey,
I'm already with it.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, yo,
I'm already with it.
I'm gonna be honest. You need to shower if you're fucking around over here. But I am flexible with the deodorant thing, as long as you're healthy. I said that in another podcast too.
No.
Yeah, I'm flexible.
Everybody needs to shower. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know why you're not showering. I mean, maybe if
Wash
there's
your
some sort
ass,
of water
wash your
outage,
pits.
maybe.
Don't be stinky.
Cleanliness is healthy.
Stinky.
Cleanliness is healthy, bro.
Facts. Did you guys see this video? And then I'll pull up the Nick Cannon one. With the mayor during the coronavirus
The mayor.
debate, that media press.
Jesus, it's like you're smoking pot. Like,
Wait.
it's like I haven't even had a bong hit. It's like you had the fucking bong
Forgot
hit.
to
Thank you, Mayor. I'll try and keep this brief.
turn his mic off.
I won't belabor all the details. I'm sure most of you remember
Oh, he's
the
in the bathroom,
presentation from
to go to
last
the
time,
bathroom.
and I imagine he's going to hit some of the highlights here in a minute. But the thing is that these deadly infections, there's something we can do about it. And what we can do is call on governmental representatives that are higher.
Yo, who the fuck is? Is this real?
And ask for action at the federal level.
This can't be real.
I am aware of Mr. Brainerd's concerns that he raised
His
last
name
time, and
is
there
Mr.
would be
Brainerd.
instances where I actually agree that we should take action locally first, but there
This is
are
the
not
mayor?
any KFO operations.
His mic was live. He didn't turn his mic off, and he excused himself to go to the restroom, and he didn't turn his mic off. He forgot to turn the mic off.
Dude was ripping some major fucking ass taking a leak.
He farts funny, too.
Who's
What
the
did
mayor
that
of-
man
who's the-
eat?
Who's the mayor
What
of
did
city?
he eat?
He has to be the mayor of like
I
Los
didn't
Rancho or
see
something,
it. I
like
didn't see
in New
it.
Mexico.
Nah, that nigga was definitely.
That nigga
He
was like
definitely is the mayor of an urban city. He's eating
like
some trash.
Dallas, Fort Worth, Albuquerque.
New Mexico.
Hey yo,
Yeah, you know, he already
Hey,
knew
yo.
Albuquerque. Yeah,
He said
Shit.
Albuquerque at the same with me.
You think his wife fucking just like has definitely supported poopery and all these other fucking toilet fragrances?
Sure.
Like she bought them in bulk because she's like, nah, bro, this bathroom is blown the fuck up
He needs to
every
get his
time.
prostate checked out, though. He had
what
kind of a
that
weak
bitch
flow.
needs,
He needs to
something.
check
Yo,
out his
listen,
prostate.
what that bitch needs to
Yeah,
be
my
getting checked
man.
out is some fucking stain removing laundry detergent. It needs to be getting checked out. You check your motherfucking drawers. You're over there taking a piss. You need to sit down. Should have did.
Oh,
Off your fucking microphone. Yeah, he must have had to piss too. Forgot his microphone.
Jesus.
You know, one of those pisses. You know, one of those times you have to piss so
But you
bad
know
you're
what?
going to the bathroom.
To
and
be
you're just holding
fair-
your dick with two fingers to try to keep it in, and you're at the door and you realize someone's at the door.
Wait,
and you
wait.
need to take a piss, and you're holding your fucking dick, and it's like Jesus.
Oh, you're pinching the head.
You're fucking pinching
it's
right
like a
behind
water
the head
hose?
to hold the fucking
Yeah,
piss
yeah.
in.
It's like a
And you're
water
fucking
hose, bro.
standing there like, okay, hold on, I'm washing my hands. Piss, come on.
You got it. You can make it. You can make it.
You get in there and you fucking squirt piss on the toilet seat, the wall, and the goddamn
Yeah, you-
toilet roll, trying to sit down and fucking or stand up, whatever it might be, and push that fucking thing in the goddamn toilet. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know somebody who calls it GPS. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're close to a bathroom, you need to shit faster. Because like when your brain knows, it's all psychological. When your brain knows that you have to go, and if you're not near a bathroom, you don't really have to go to. But once you're getting that close to that fucking bathroom, man, you know you're almost home.
Everything psychological is telling you, yo, let it out.
Yes,
let it
you
out.
gotta
let it
go,
out. Let it
nigga.
out.
It's about
Go
to
now.
blow your pants. You're about to blow a hole in your fucking pants, nigga. Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I told you about that. Told you about that one strip club that had all the girls dancing in front of a glass wall, and the wall was actually the wall of urinals in the guy's bathroom. They had all these undulating in front of the fucking window. You remember I told you that shit, nigga? You could never take a piss in that fucking bathroom. No straight man is taking a piss in that bathroom.
I would never. I would never.
I mean, you could put a load outside right on the fucking urinal, but you're not about to piss.
Nope.
Hell yeah, man.
Not there.
You sure ain't that
never find me in there.
Outside, bro.
The fuck out of here.
That's hilarious. Whoever did that's an asshole.
Hey, yo, real quick. Through all this fucking COVID-19 bullshit, and for the idiots, it's not the 19th version of the corona, you fucking assholes. But shout out to all the creators who are busting their ass on fucking Instagram, on Periscope, on fucking Facebook, Twitch. People are really doing the thing and like serving up the people and performing live, like doing songs, playing their fucking instruments and singing and just having a great time. And I think this is like the one cool thing about this whole shit, this quarantine shit, as much as it's fucked up for the economy and for a lot of people's really pretty much stable, the only little bit of stable income they had, is that people are really like taking time out of their day to do shit for people like that. I think that shit is really dope. So,
yeah, I don't mind.
Shout out to all the creators
shit
out there working hard.
Yeah, keep working hard. And don't stop when the quarantine's over.
Facts. Keep that shit
keep
up.
Working hard, bro. I don't know.
All right, let's play this Nick Cannon video. Getting my email. There it goes.
I don't know, man. At CP Pod 100 all over the place. And by the way, guys, we are on Twitch now. So go give us a follow over there. We need some followers. We need some love.
We need help.
YouTube. Yeah, we're needy. We're needy girlfriends. YouTube is up to date, and you can watch all our previous lives plus podcast episodes. And this is how it's going to be for a while until you guys, chip in and see these lives and playback.
Looks like this video may have been taken down.
No shit.
Let me see.
Well, he's been open about it before. Nick Cannon's been open about he didn't want to be married before he got married to Mariah Carey, but like once he had an opportunity to marry Mariah Carey, he was like, I mean, who the fuck would say no? But I'm like, stick to your guns.
He sounded a little butthurt about what Mariah did to him when I was listening to the video.
Yeah, but she sounds like a fucking major bitch.
Oh, I'm sure of that, 100%. Yeah, this shit is not. It's not there anymore.
Wow.
Searched all over your World Star. It's not there.
Is it on YouTube? Maybe.
It might be. Let me check.
Just type it there. We'll give you the gist of it, guys. 844-997-0775. Call in. Don't be shy. We don't bite unless you want us to. And also, social media is at CPPod100. Anchor.fm/CPPod100 is our main hub. You can find all the platforms to listen to our podcast there. Google, Spotify. We are on iHeartRadio, so That's always the good stuff, my friends. Hey.
Jesus, coronavirus is taking over my YouTube. It won't let me do a search until.
This is the craziest shit. So, have you been to the supermarkets? Have you guys tried taking a trip to the supermarkets?
We did. Yeah, we went a couple days ago.
How empty is it? How bad is it for you?
It wasn't really that bad. I mean, it was busy. It was. It wasn't too bad though. I mean, there's definitely things.
No,
toilet
I
paper,
couldn't find rice.
paper towels were down low.
I couldn't find. Rice. There was something else, like major, and I was like, "Damn, what?"
Beans.
Like, nobody said that there was a fucking food shortage, bro. Like nobody said we were running out of fucking food and you had to stock up. You know, and I was talking to this woman yesterday, and she made such a great point. She was like, you know, she's like, it's so weird. People who never bake and do shit with flour bought flour, like, and tons of it, like, and stuff in like the aisle where the flour was empty. It's like, the fuck are you gonna use that for? And these people's problem mentality is like, oh, you know, just in case. It was like, just in case what? Like, the world is not ending, yo. The world is not ending. It might be scary, and this might be infecting a lot of people, and it might be, you know, the death rate might be high on this. You know what I'm saying? But like, this is not the end of the world, my G. This ain't the Black Plague. I just.
Okay, I think this is it right here. I think this was on his morning show, so I think this is it right here. Let's see if this plays. It's gonna be there.
He's on Power 106 now.
Wake that up.
LA's #1 hip hop morning show is Nick Cannon Mornings on Power 106.
Living with
We get it.
married to them. You know how I feel about marriage, so I think, you know.
Yeah, but before all that, like before you said I don't believe in marriage anymore.
Yeah.
Were you living with someone before you got married?
Yeah, I live with a lot of people now.
No, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like someone you're dating, like a partner, do you live with them before you get married? Have you done that before?
Yes.
Do you like it better?
No,
What?
I don't like living with nobody.
See, he sounds
We
burnt.
know that now, Nick. Go back into your younger days when
But
you were young and dumb.
I'm saying I don't think it's a good idea to live with people.
Before getting married.
No.
I agree.
I
agree.
actually disagree. Now you said how many samples do I buy? Right? What was the
So
question?
you
again?
say you walk into La Costco, and
Costco.
before you buy it, you sample it. That,
On
my
Sundays,
friend, is
you
a
just-
lie. You go and you sample what they offer you. Most of the time, you're like, oh yeah, this is good, but you go directly to
First
what
of
you're
all-
there
Want.
to
First
buy.
of all-
To the chick
What
that
you
you've been
First of
wanting.
all, look at my body type. Clearly, I buy every damn sample that I try.
Stop.
No, but seriously, like,
three of
listen,
those.
when it comes to, why do I gotta sound like that? Why do I sound like fella? Like, hey, daddy,
Oh, 7 of those.
you know what? Are those covered in chocolate? Nah, look, me and Ashley, we started dating.
Okay, so that's the gist of it, though. What are you guys' thoughts with that? Living with somebody before you're married.
Oh, I feel like this is something that we might have already covered. Of course, I think living with someone.
No, we
before
talked
you're
about
married,
living
that
with.
is- that
We
is
talked about
mandatory.
living.
I would never get married to someone that I have not lived with first. It is beyond stupid. It's back asswards. It's archaic. This whole
There
thought
was
of
two people in
marriage
that room,
and then moving
including
in.
Nick, that said
It's
otherwise.
horseshit. Yeah, they're dumb. You know, they're just as dumb as he is. I mean, but they can't help that. I mean, the people have their opinions, but I've come by mine through evidence, and I'm just saying that like it's not a way to go. Just moving in with someone, you know, on your wedding night. Really?
I think it's rich nigga shit. That's rich nigga talk. And hear me on
That
this.
what? That you're not gonna move in
That-
before you're married?
Until you're married. You know what I'm saying? Until you're fucking married.
I see where he's.
That's
I see
some
where
rich
Dan's
nigga
coming
shit.
from with this. I see where you coming from, though. Honestly,
Look,
like that.
there's no obligation
I don't,
for
so
you.
explain.
If you get with somebody who makes just as much money as you or is a superstar, or you're dating chicks who make a lot of money, like, there's a little more room for separation. She's got to still be a businesswoman and work her ass off. You got to still do your business thing and work your ass off. There's not much room for this, let's lay around and cuddle and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like beforehand. That stops
But
the
is that
money.
what there's-
I think that the
Is that what they're
idea.
saying, though?
I think the idea stops the money. The idea stops the money because we all know, and a majority of people will agree with what Brando said, that you have to live with the person to know what the fuck
You're getting into.
you're gonna marry.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And a lot of us are gonna agree with that. But I see a point to this, and it has nothing to do with being burnt or anything. I just truly believe that there's something about building something for yourself and knowing that you can, and knowing that you can live with yourself. Like, I think so many people, and that's just the climate of today, you know, they leave their parents' house and go straight to live with the person that they're with. And then, you know, if that
I'm on board
relationship
with
doesn't
that.
work
Like,
out.
if you're 22 years old, you just finished college, and during college you lived with your parents and, you know, they helped you out or whatever, and then you meet some girl 22, 23, 24 years old, you're just starting your career, and you're still kind of shacking up at your folks' house, and now you get married and you go straight into moving in with your girlfriend, wife,
Well,
whatever.
that's set up kind of differently.
I
The way
get
you set
that a
up is
little bit.
different.
Like, you should definitely try living on your own. But I think
Yeah.
I think this is more grown folk talk. Like, if you're
Yeah,
a
that's what it sounded
30-year-old
like.
man and you're dating, and you already have your job in place, you've already lived on your own. Maybe you even have your own house already. Like, you're making.
Maybe
your own
you've been
house
married
payments and
already.
shit. Exactly. And
Okay,
now
so
you're
then-
met
and
this
that-
woman and you're gonna get married to her. Like, are you moving?
Without
in
play
with her
devil's
first, or
advocate
you-
to play devil's advocate on the burnt side, right? Yeah. I'm done taking care of your ass. I'm done taking care of you having little fucking crazy ass bitch fits. I'm a businessman. I gotta work. I gotta do shit. So are you coming to add value? Or are you coming to nag and
Well-
fucking bitch all day and tell me what you want
Wait,
and blah,
so-
blah, blah? I don't have time for that shit.
No, exactly. So that's my point.
I already
right?
dealt
In
with
order-
that shit.
I agree with Dan, but here's the point, right? That the way to avoid that and the way to know what you're getting into is to live with them first.
Exactly.
Do not put your name on documentation before you know what this bitch is like. You know you're a businessman. You know you're a multimillionaire. You know you do this. You know you do that. She might think she knows it, but the only way to know what she knows and what you know and what you guys are like together is to be together.
What are her quirks gonna be? Like, what are you gonna figure
Yeah.
out? Like, does she?
And how is her baggage going to
In the
cope with your
morning
baggage?
Yeah. Yeah,
And the way I
think
agree
you
with
should
what
be doing
Dan
that.
said, though.
I think it's healthy for your
Oh, sorry.
relationship, like, because you are learning those things. Like, if you're not learning those things beforehand, and you go get married and then move in, and now you're learning these things. Sure, if you, excuse me, if you guys are truly in love, you know, you'll figure these things out and you work it out and you talk about it.
And you guys
Communication,
match.
it's key and blah blah blah. But that definitely, man, that's adding stress to your relationship right out the gates, because now you're learning weird little quirks that may drive you crazy.
You didn't know
learning
she
weird
left
little things
tampons in the
about
shower?
you.
What the fuck? There's blood on the mirror.
Jesus.
Nah, Dan know what I'm talking about. Hey, yo, check it out, though. Listen, here's the thing. Rich people, you said some rich nigga shit. I really felt that, because, like, here's the thing. Listen, especially if you're in a Nick Cannon situation. If you're fucking with Nick Cannon, you might get a Nick Cannon league bitch. So this bitch has probably got money herself. You've got money yourself. You guys can afford to just be living in different houses, different condos, different apartments and shit. You guys can afford a lot. But normal people, like middle class, lower middle class, upper, lower, if you want to say, they don't have a lot of those options. So like you guys are living in one place, or you're living in one place, she's living in another place, or, you know, however it might be. You guys are paying two different, you know, rent bills, two sets of bills in general. You guys know you guys like each other. You guys see a future together. You want to experiment with a future together and possibly get married in the future. So why wouldn't you consolidate some of that shit and just fucking one set of bills, and you guys can rock and roll that way. And if it doesn't work, then you go back to your thing and she goes back to hers.
Yeah, I mean, I think money.
You got
no
the money
money
to live in.
I don't think the money really factors in here, but.
Well, no, I was just saying off of what Dan was saying. Off of what Dan was saying.
Even rich people, like if a rich dude gets with a rich chick, I mean, I think a lot of times, let's say you got a New York Wall Street dude that makes a shit ton of money, and you got L.A. Hollywood chick. They meet somewhere and get married. All they're gonna end up doing is just. Okay, now they got a house in New York, and now they got a house in LA. Like,
yeah,
they'll
but see again, you're like, looking at it through the rich lens, from the poor person side, or from
now
the not
from
rich.
The poor person side.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I agreed when you said, or at least I understood where you were coming from when you said that's some rich nigga shit. Listen, bro, if I'm paying $719 for rent and she's paying $819 for rent, we love each other. We spend most time. If I'm not at her house, she's at mine, and if she's not at mine, I'm at hers. Why the fuck would we just keep both? Just to keep both, just to say that we're gonna move in when we're married. I don't think it sounds like I'm just throwing money at the wall at this point. And I
just really think that, because honestly, yo, I think I would feel that way too. You know, Adam, you know, I'm coming on. I'm seeing what you're saying about the burnt thing a little more, you know, as I think about it, because I put myself in that position. If I had a failed marriage. If my first marriage was a failed fucking marriage, I am going to feel a little fucking burnt off.
Failed marriage. And
you know, I'm going to feel a little like, nah, man, I don't need no distraction from a girl while I'm trying to do my shit. And I really feel like I would feel that way. I feel like I would feel that, like, we don't want to be alone. But we also don't want to deal with the stresses that come with dealing or living with women. You know, and I think that once you feel that way, and that comes from your first marriage. That's all you know. This was supposed to be fucking forever. This was supposed to be an amazing fucking thing, and it just ended up turning out to be just so draining and so fucking like, you've been married before, fucking Adam? Yeah, you fucking know what it's like, dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think there's something to that.
I don't think you can't let it damage you, though. And maybe going back to the money thing, I guess, if you have enough money.
But how much time do you need? I think that changes for everybody, right?
I think that's different for everybody, yeah. Everyone's going to get over shit differently. But like in Nick's case, you know, he has a lot of money. He's doing a lot of different projects. Like, he doesn't need to rush into a relationship. He doesn't need to do, you know, whenever he's ready to settle down again, he'll settle down again. Like, whereas normal, average Joe and Jane, you know, they're looking for something. They want to start a family. You know, they're looking to settle down. You know, we're always looking for companionship. So I guess it's kind of one of those kind of things, like, you know,
it's average Joe versus bro.
The rich person. Yeah, like
it's like on paper,
it's going to be different for everybody.
Polyamory sounds great. I get to have 5 different options just to get to choose my meals. But with that comes confusion. With that comes you know, 5 different types of fucking emotions. With that comes, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like,
I don't think
it's all the same way. Like,
but I can see why.
On paper, for people, but I've always said, like, my joke has always been, imagine having one Going to a restaurant and only having one thing to choose from on that menu, you would not go back.
Unless it was super good.
Yeah, like steak.
I don't think so.
You know what
Good
you're
old
getting
steak.
I
into.
think
But
Good
but
old
if you
steak.
go
I
back,
think-
you know what you're going back for. Like in that
Exactly.
example. Like you know you're going into
Yeah,
that
but
place
that's-
because you know what you're going for.
but that's the hole you have in your phone.
right.
That's the hole you have in your phone. That's the
That's
the
Old
hole
Faithful.
that when you're not in a
That's the
relationship,
no-
you call her up.
yeah.
You're like, yo,
Yep. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's the setup. That's the restaurant you want to go back to when you're in town.
Pew ass niggas know.
Yeah. I agree. If you want to comment
You know?
on anything that we talked about this, if you're listening to this back and we're not live any longer, the phone line is always there. You can call, comment, leave a voicemail with your thoughts about anything we've talked about. 844-997-0775. Hashtag comfortably poor on Twitter. We're always looking for you guys' questions, comments, whatever you got to share with us. Dope videos, articles, all that good shit. Hit us with that at CPPod100 across all social media. Follow us. We're trying to grow that social media following. And subscribe on YouTube, please. We appreciate that shit.
Take it easy. Have a safe week. And if more places shut down and lock down,
We got you covered.
pull up Pornhub and the Comfortably Poor podcast.
Yeah.
Pull up porn.
Take it easy, guys.